and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight to hear about MoveFwd and the work that we do. We are celebrating our 30th year of existence in the western suburbs. At MoveFwd, we support young people who are experiencing or at risk for homelessness with stable housing, employment, and their educational goals. We also offer no-cost mental health therapy to young people ages 12 to 24 and their families. There are 6,000 young people in our state experiencing homelessness on any given night, and 1 in 5 young people say they struggle with a mental health challenge. Those numbers are just too high. Even 1 is too many. 2020 was a difficult year for us all, and for young people who were already struggling, the COVID-19 pandemic and the murder of George Floyd and the unrest that continues has impacted them deeply. But with your help, we were able to serve 500 young people last year. We have a sign in our drop-in center that says, "Love is why we're here." And that really is the core mission of MoveFwd, to put our love into action when life gets tough. You are a very important part of our mission. Partnering with donors like you really allows us to do our work and really supports young people in a meaningful and impactful way. Thank you for joining us tonight, for donating and supporting young people who need your help. And I invite you to visit the silent auction. There's some great items there. And with that, I want to kick off our video program. Our staff talks about their work, and young people who have used our services tell their stories.
What brought me to MoveFwd was not probably, but for sure, some unstableness I felt where I was staying. It was prior to my mom leaving to move to Tennessee, and it was me and a couple other family members, and it was just like always some loud noises or arguments happening, and I lived downstairs, so at that point it was just like boom, 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 like a whole bunch of noise for me. Too many noises for me really to be focused on anything I was doing, and at a certain point I just felt like the environment I was living in wasn't like a good environment for me to be if I really wanted to grow. But I decided to leave, and I was crashing with a friend that was only a couple blocks away from me and on the first run, and after that I was just couch hopping for like a whole year. After conquering my GED task, I decided to take the advice of someone to join a program called MoveFwd, and they helped me get a rental history and pick up pieces in my life that I felt like weren't as polished as they should have been. If I didn't join MoveFwd, honestly, I don't know, or I don't see if I would have been doing anything positive, honestly, because I don't know, just certain points, circumstances kind of force a person to either grow up or make a very heavy decision that could weigh on somebody for the rest of their life. But I'm grateful that I ran into MoveFwd, honestly, because it really did, and it sounds cliche, but it really did save my life more so. What I'm doing now, I have a full-time job, a rewarding job. I have rental history. I have a part on the youth board. Thanks to MoveFwd for giving me the information to do that, and more so become a part of something bigger than myself. And I feel good about it.
I'm Angela Porter. I'm a licensed graduate social worker. My role as a therapist is to offer barrier-free therapeutic services to youth and their families. What that means is there's no cost to our therapy. We try to eliminate transportation issues by either going to schools physically to do therapy with youth. I would say the majority of the issues that we address are conflicts with family or friends. Definitely anxiety and depression and academic-related issues. MoveFwd has a huge advantage to providing school-based therapy, and that's because of the issue of barriers, right? When kids are already at school, we're able to access them in a way that might be different than relying on their parents to get them to sessions.
My name is Charlie Platt, and I am a licensed graduate social worker working at MoveFwd. All of our therapy services are being done virtually currently, including all of our individual and group sessions. Some participants quite like the safety of being in their own home for therapy. Some appreciate being around other people in their home for feeling safe. Others prefer doing therapy in person, and they're excited to get going with that again. I have heard several clients say just how grateful they are to connect with a mentor, a trusted person during such an isolating time. That's really been the biggest theme I've heard from clients, is just how isolated they feel during the pandemic. And being able to connect with a therapist regularly has been a great gift for them.
I have a participant that I've been working with for about 15 months who came to therapy because of issues with anxiety and depression that were really getting in the way of daily function. Through the course of us working together, I've seen that participant develop coping skills to self-regulate, to have more confidence to be in the world, which has offered that person the ability to meet goals and has developed a greater understanding of themselves and how to move forward in their life.
That was great, moving to Minnesota. I'll have a new start and stuff like that. But of course, that didn't happen as planned. So I thought, okay, well, now I have this car. I still have a job. Maybe I could just use this car as my sleeping place. So that's what I did. I slept in the parking lots of nearby places to where I worked and in the parking lot of where I worked, and did that for about 6 months. After work, when I would go to my car, I would think to myself, well, man, I don't have any friends here. I don't have, the family support that I would like to have. It was just very, very lonely. Some days I would just sleep the day away. The weight of not telling a lot of people that I was homeless, not telling them my situation and being honest, was just killing me from the inside out. It was devastating, and I couldn't tell anyone because I was so ashamed. I was ashamed. I had gone to a 4-year university on a full-ride scholarship, and now I was homeless. And I couldn't believe that I was, I had fallen so far. So I just thought, I don't want to be in this situation forever. So, but I need some help. I definitely needed some help. So just a Google search got me to find MoveFwd. So they had a couch there, and they let me sleep there many times before I had to work, because I worked second shift. It was great because I didn't have to worry about, being woken up unexpectedly. MoveFwd helped me with the search process of finding an apartment, to setting up appointments, to filling out the applications and paying for the application fee. I remember getting the key to my apartment and feeling like, wow, this is mine. This is finally somewhere I can go to relax. And I hadn't had that luxury before with being homeless. I didn't have time to relax. I have no idea what I would have done without MoveFwd to help me and aid me in my time of need. I recently was promoted at work, so now I'm able to make a little bit more to also save more, and I'm also back in school, so I'm really thriving thanks to MoveFwd.
There's many reasons why youth are homeless. A lot of times, if a parent has gotten a divorce and they've taken on a new partner, and that person they don't get along with, and there's a lot of fighting, and so they decide to move out. It could be somebody they don't want to follow the rules, they get kicked out. It can be that they have a substance a problem. It could be that their youth is pregnant and the parents put her out. It can be they're part of the LGBT community and and the parents don't accept them. Everybody deserves a home and a place to be and feel comfortable. We shouldn't have youth or anybody sleeping outside, in cars, in storage units. It's horrific. So, of course, housing overall in the country, but in Minnesota, the same thing is a very low inventory of affordable housing. So housing is always a struggle. It's not like they can just come in and we can find housing. It could take several months to get into a place. We get youth off of the big Hennepin County list so we can house them. Once we get somebody, case manager Jake, who is a TLP case manager, helps them with housing, medical assistance, food assistance, clothing assistance, mental health support, school support, basically really intense case management. But we want to plan for them. We want them to help plan to take the steps. It could be set up a bank account. Maybe they've never had a bank account. Setting that up. It can be, there's just so many things that they might have not had help with growing up. When you move in, you might have to show them how to use the appliances. Had a young person who moved into a housing and called about, Miss Sarah, my pizza been in the oven for 2 hours. And I was like, it's not burned? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, something must be wrong with the oven. And come to find out, she didn't turn the oven on. She said she only ever used a hot plate or a little burner. Growing up, she grew up with moving from shelter to shelter, from place to place, so she never had that. The new program that I'm trying to start here is going to be called Welcome Home, and it's going to be a furniture program as well. So we'll have a storage unit of donated furniture, household items. When you move somewhere, you want to feel good. You want to feel like you got stuff, you got dishes, you got furniture, dressers, all that. So I decided to call it Welcome Home.
Before I got into MoveFwd, I was sleeping everywhere, cars, house to house, sometimes on a train if nobody didn't want me to come over. MoveFwd helped me find an apartment and helped me move into my apartment and gave me resources to, just to get everything that I needed for my apartment. And then after that, I had a house fire and MoveFwd, instead of just not doing anything. They paid for, hotel, put me in a hotel. I don't have to worry about a lot of things, It's just a time to breathe and figure things out instead of just having to just do something just because I have to, I definitely see myself working with kids. It's just, it be obstacles that's in the way sometimes. Then again, MoveFwd, they give you that support system where until you get all of that stuff out the way, the barriers knocked down, it'll make it possible for me to, if I want to work with kids, y'all gonna make it possible for me to work with youth. You know what I'm saying? House almost burnt down, almost jumped out of, or I had to jump out of the window. Sister in prison, You know, I'm gonna tell my story and my truths because this is who I am. Throughout my experience with Move Forward, that the first the first thing might not always work. Second thing might not work. The third thing still might not work. It's just about moving forward and keep going. So
Hi, this is Denise Kalicki. I'm the school counselor at Hopkins High School, and I will say a million times over and over that the Move Forward program is such a valuable asset to us as school counselors and to so many of the students that it serves in the high school. There's so many students that struggle with mental illness or symptoms of mental illness that have been undiagnosed or just extremely tough life circumstances, and that's when Move Forward comes in and provides consistent, deep support on a bi-weekly or a weekly basis, or even if a student just needs some help with housing or some specific assistance, Move Forward is always there to help support the student in multiple ways, more than just mental health, but in so many different ways.
So my name is Hannah Houts. I am a case manager for the Upstream program. And the Upstream program is our sort of pilot project with the Hopkins Public Schools. So we receive family referrals from the Hopkins schools for families facing some sort of housing instability or even homelessness, and sort of work with them to find resources or to relieve oftentimes immediate financial crisis. We work both with the parents and then sometimes also with the children in the family structure, and help them figure out where it makes sense for them to work and on what issues they want to prioritize. And that could be housing related, or it could be mental health related, or really anything else they are struggling with. Probably the most common thing we see is a family getting referred or finding their way to us because they have missed a rental payment, or they're a couple of months behind in their rent. And then we kind of work with them on that immediate need. There is funding in the Upstream program for some direct assistance. So oftentimes, if they're just behind by a month or two, we will help get them caught back up on rent. And then kind of make a plan for what happens next. How are we going to make sure you're taken care of for the next few months? Is there some bigger issues going on where we can connect you to the food shelf or to other resources in the community, or to job training, or other things that might help alleviate that problem over the long term? I think the most exciting results in Upstream are when we've taken care of a crisis and helped families kind of game plan out the next few months and how they're going to remain stable. And then I've been here long enough to see folks kind of loop back around to us in 6 months or even a year later and say, you were really helpful to me a few months ago or a year ago, and now I would like some information about how to buy a house, or I'm in a better place financially, so I want to start working on paying off my student loans or going back to school. And I think that's kind of the most exciting, to see people really stick to the plan and get to a better place, and then kind of be able to help them and point them in the right direction for the next steps they want to move in.
Move Forward partners with Streetworks, which is a large collaboration of multiple youth agencies around the Twin Cities and also greater Minnesota. Everyone coming together with the main goal, and that is to reach out to youth in the communities. So outreach can look a little different depending on who you ask, but ultimately there is street outreach. So we partner with outreach workers together, go out in the streets, different parts of Minneapolis, St. Paul, Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, and we carry around our big green bags that have snacks, bus tokens, and condoms, and hygiene supplies, gift cards for certain situations. The main goal is just really trying to let youth know that there are resources and supports out there for them. What street outreach looks like in the suburbs within our service area here at MoveFwd is, one, just making sure other local community nonprofits, other agencies that support youth are aware of the services we offer. They're aware of street works and outreach workers and what we do. A lot of it is also staying connected with a lot of the youth librarians around the surrounding cities. Also just going into neighborhood businesses, going into laundromats, restaurants, seeing if they're willing to take some flyers. Oftentimes we'll be having conversations around youth homelessness. Some people that really don't realize or are aware that youth homelessness exists within their communities. You know, that's why oftentimes you'll hear the invisible youth. These are highly mobile. You know, they're sleeping in their cars, couch hopping, they're doubled up with other families. So I did have a young person last year who was living out of state and just really had nothing there for him, really wanted a fresh start. So he found the cheapest plane ticket at the airport, which ended up being Minneapolis, St. Paul in Minnesota, and he flew out here and he ended up taking a taxi out to one of the suburbs where he ended up sleeping outside for a few months. So a lot of my work was just meeting up with him a few times a week to just make sure he has food, has hygiene supplies, and also bringing him back to shower and to rest. And but yes, homelessness definitely exists in the suburbs.
Hi, my name is Kelly Ritchie, and I'm a school social worker for Hopkins High School. I have had the fortune of working with MoveFwd in some capacity or another for nearly 20 years. And I would just like to express my enormous gratitude for all of the amazing work that they've done over the years for the students and families that we have referred to them for services and supports. Between the therapists, the highly skilled therapists that they have employed and who have clearly dedicated their time to working with youth and the adolescents in our communities, and the case management services and homelessness services that the other staff at MoveFwd have provided have also just been invaluable. Just anything from helping a young person find stable housing to getting them to a shelter, to getting them connected with food or other immediate resources that they need. We're just so lucky to have MoveFwd as a resource in the Hopkins community. And whenever I speak with others from other districts who don't have such resources or agencies that they're directly connected to in the way that we are with MoveFwd, I am just reminded how very, very fortunate we are. So yeah, I just couldn't say enough good things about MoveFwd.
All right, so pre-COVID, this was the youth drop-in center. It still is, but of course, right now, participants are not accessing the drop-in center. But just a nice, cozy space, nice couches. They can come in here, relax. You see, we have a guitar, we have TV here, games where they can just really relax and engage. You know, that's the thing that's really missing right now because of COVID. Right now we have a lot of things that are in bags that we can give to youth. bags, snack bags. Of course, ramen noodles is always a favorite. Mac and cheese, they can heat that up and make it as well. Case managers can deliver to a youth when they call and they say they need help with food support or hygiene items. This is a very calming and welcoming space, and it's very important for young people to feel supported, to feel like they can just come in and feel like they have a spot where they are heard, where they're listened to, where they feel safe. And so this is a perfect space for that, just to relax. And you know, it's small, but it's quaint, and it's just comfortable. They just want you to feel comfortable. Basic needs, which is like very important for young people to be able to just come in here and get the hygiene items they have, like deodorant and shampoo, and we even have ethnic hair care supplies as well. And if you're a parent, we have diapers. You know, these are some of the things that are very important for young people, and can cost a lot of money. Okay, so over here we have the start of our clothing items. We have, you know, some shoes, some jogging pants, and boots over here, but it also continues into these closets. We have a lot of warm winter coats, gloves, whole thing of hats, mittens, and scarves are down here. If they need help with working on homework and stuff, we have computers in the back there where they can sit down and do their homework and schoolwork. We also have a quiet space where they can, if they're coming in to rest, we can have cots so they can sleep and take a rest as well. So there are many things that they can do at drop-in. But what everybody really misses is just spending time and joking around and having conversations face-to-face with somebody. Because right now it's all done via the telephone or via virtual. So that's what's missing, just the closeness, and it's been hard.
Thank you for listening tonight about the rewarding work that we do at Move Forward with young people and families. It's really heartwarming when young people keep coming back, sometimes after a couple of years when they need help. Move Forward is a safe place where they can come and they know they will receive love and the help that they need. Thank you also for your financial support, because without it, none of this work could be possible. There's so many worthy causes in Minnesota that you could invest in. So we're so grateful that you've chosen Move Forward and the lives of young people. We have a silent auction that's going on right now with some really great items for you to enjoy and support our mission at the same time. We also have a generous anonymous donor that has provided a $5,000 match tonight for your giving. Thank you so much for your generosity. I really look forward to continuing to partner with all of you, our community partners, our schools, and of course our young people in continuing this important work of love.